Hey everybody, Chris here. I think we're all getting a little sick of hearing all about FTX, but left to wonder now, what does this mean for Dogecoin? Since I'm concentrating more on Dogecoin on this channel, we want to talk about that, but overall, all of the craziness that was going on with FTX day after day, there's just more stuff out there, so we'll highlight some of that as well. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell so you can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We were talking about FTX on my last couple live streams because the story is just unbelievable what's been going on there, how essentially these kids could be in charge of billions of dollars and also have these connections that just this tangled web of connections that could dupe even people like Kevin O'Leary into believing in FTX. This the parents of Sam Bankman-Fried, well connected. Also, Caroline Ellison, Alameda Research's CEO. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Her father, well, Gary Gensler used to report or work for her father. Gary Gensler, head of SEC. And Sam Bankman-Fried apparently just had a meeting with Gary Gensler earlier this year. So the connections are certainly there, as well as political donations to the Democratic Party using FTX funds. That could have been happening as well. So there's a lot of connections there. But what was going on down in the Bahamas, where FTX was sort of headquartered, just crazy stories of this group of kids living in this giant penthouse suite. And apparently there were a lot of dating going on, interrelationships going on. And now there's rumors that there's the sex tape that's out there between Sam and Caroline, and that's going to be released today. We'll see whether that happens or not. Just craziness. Also, from FTX funds, they were all buying houses in the Bahamas. It's FTX just buying houses. And what's being found out is that there was no control over the money at all. Expense reports were all just kind of being sort of documented through text messages with emoji responses saying whether that's good or not, with no paper backup or anything like that. And also, where is all the money now? Did Sam actually code in backdoors or other people within FTX in order to siphon money out when something like this eventually was going to happen? Did they know this was going to happen already? Just unbelievable. There was this in-house psychiatrist saying that these people couldn't get enough sex and they wanted more and more. And it was just like, what was going on with this? Just craziness. So Caroline Ellison, I want to concentrate on her for a minute because she's in charge of like billions of dollars. Of course, this was all being funneled back and forth between FTX and Alameda, and here she is. Let's take a listen.
So after college, I worked at Jane Street for about a year and a half trading equities, and it was pretty different from crypto. A much more efficient market, much more automated trading systems, kind of tweaking details of bots that are doing millions of trades on all these equity exchanges. After I'd been working there for a bit, I talked to Sam, who had just started Alameda, and he convinced me that it was an exciting opportunity. So I decided to take a chance on it. Yeah, absolutely could pull it off without my math degree. Use very little math. Use a lot of elementary school math, like arithmetic, probability, but not really any of the advanced stuff I learned in college. Oh yeah, I definitely keep the same thing. I mean, I think I've partly just gotten fairly lucky. I don't think if I went back and chose a different random path, it would have worked out this well. So.
Now, does this sound like somebody who is in charge of this billion-dollar operation? Just unbelievable. But this is what was happening. And with that, you just wonder how they believed, or some of them could have believed that this just could have continued on and on with these billions of dollars at stake here, just using customers' funds however they wanted. But that's what happened. And it looks like between Sam Bankman-Fried and Do Kwon of Luna, Do Kwon was essentially saying that Luna could do no wrong. Sam proved him wrong, and it looks like Sam was actually behind some of the what ended up being the destruction of Luna, which then led to Three Arrows Capital, which then led to Celsius and Voyager down. FTX was already then probably having some problems, but they were essentially just minting tokens, creating some fake market cap of money that was used to back all of these loans, some of them even personal loans from FTX to the heads of XTX personally. $1 billion loan directly from Alameda to Sam Bankman-Fried. Who gets $1 billion loan like that? But then the contagion back then from that Three Arrows Capital going bankrupt led FTX to be having problems. We could see the problems were happening when FTT, the FTX token, was starting to have withdrawal problems. CZ at Binance was looking into it, and he said, there looks like there is a problem there. I'm going to start selling the FTT tokens that Binance has. And that began this cascading downfall of FTX, because there was nothing behind the FTT token. The funds weren't there. So now this leads to BlockFi. Now BlockFi, there's no Dogecoin on BlockFi. So if you had stuff on BlockFi, it was Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that. So Dogecoin itself isn't hurt by that, but if BlockFi goes down, that also hurts the overall crypto markets. For those that had Dogecoin on Voyager, we're still waiting to see what happens there. That could be Binance, who ends up coming in and saving Voyager. I know a lot of you also had stuff on Celsius, and so I feel sorry for those that had those lockups and those that were in Luna. But now there's another entity, and that's Genesis. So Genesis Trading, well, this one is kind of an interesting one because this goes back to this guy, Barry Silbert. Now, if you remember my videos from my other channel over a year ago, we were talking about Barry, because Barry is the one who came out on the morning of May 8th, 2021, and said that he was shorting Dogecoin because Barry Silbert of this digital capital group also is a co-owner of Genesis Trading. So Barry was shorting Dogecoin last year, and guess what he was using as a platform to short Dogecoin? FTX. That's right. FTX was a platform used for shorting. That's what we think Barry was using. But now it's all coming back around, and that Genesis Trading having this $170 million hole because of FTX could lead to a further downfall of Genesis. So personally, I don't feel bad about Barry Silbert. He's making a ton of money in other places, but this is certainly would be hurting him. What does this mean for Doge? Well, for Dogecoin, if there's one less avenue of ways to people to short Doge, that's good, but others still see opportunities for shorting Dogecoin. This article that I covered the other night seems to imply that the Dogecoin on Twitter is now already priced in because of the hype we had a couple weeks ago, and the Dogecoin price coming up wasn't Dogecoin already being on Twitter, but the thought that it might be. And that's how Dogecoin's price doubled from 6 cents up to 12 cents. Now has settled back down a bit, but still kind of already priced in. So there are a lot of shorters out there still wanting to short Dogecoin, but hopefully it's not Barry Silbert anymore and FTX. So that's kind of a long way to come around the craziness that's going on and impact on Dogecoin. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this craziness and what impact that could continue to have on Doge going forward. So give the video a like also. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.